Good morning everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Eastbourne Fisherman. Today I've come down to Norman's Bay. We're going to fish down Norman's Bay. I've got some absolutely cracking bait and I'm just going to have a fish. I don't usually do day sessions and when I do them they're quite varied. So this is I was supposed to go on a boat trip in Brighton today, but unfortunately that was cancelled, so we're out on the beach. The rigs I'm going to be using today, the water is rough, it's windy, it's rough, so I'm going to play two rigs really. I'm going to firstly cast out 2-hook flapper just into the surf with some fresh lugworm, and then on the second rod I'm going to put out a pennel bait squid mixed with ragworm. Let's crack on and we'll do that now. Right guys, I've got some great bait today. I've been to the Angler's Den on my way down here. Got some really nice fresh lugworm in there. We've got some ragworm here as well. Some nice bits of ragworm there. And I've also got my riot bait squid. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just going to get my worm, take off the tail, and feed that directly onto my hook. Size 2 hooks today. So feed that up on, and just pull that out just before the end of the worm to leave my worm like that. I'll do that on both hooks, just a bit of worm on each. It's in, up round the shank, pull in the worm and then push it with my other fingers till I get to the bottom. Then we're just going to come out just before the bottom, pinch off the tail and leave a bit at the bottom there. Right then guys, so next on my list to do is to make my squid and ragworm cocktail. So what I'm going to do is going to get my squid, I'll place it in my tray, grab my bait elastic, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bind the squid to the tray, just with a couple of twists, like that, and then I'm going to put the ragworm on the back of the squid, just laying it on the back, and I'm just going to twist that on, just to hold that into place. Fold the tail over and then twist that on there. I'm going to do a couple of these ragworm, just maybe 2 ragworm on there. Just bind them on like so, held into place with the bait elastic. Fold the top of that up, bind that on. And fold the bottom of the squid up and just bind that all on there. And then we'll tie that off. I'm then going to slide the bait off. There's my sausage of squid and ragworm, and then I'm going to introduce my hooks, and then we're going to wrap it again with a bit more elastic and then cast it out. So pennel set up today. So you've got top hook circle, bottom hook just a wide mouth hook. I'm going to go for the biggest bait, put that hook in to the bottom, and then we're just going to wrap that back up with the bait elastic. Just want to make sure that that bottom hook's nice and secure. And when we wrap it, we want to wrap all the way up to the top with the line all the way up to the top, all the way up to the top of the bait, just to hold that line all the way down the bait. I put a lot of wrapper along the bottom of the eye and along the top of the eye just to stop the hook from potentially slipping out the bait, and then round the bottom of the shank as well. And then we'll just tie that off like that, and then our top hook we'll slide down to meet the top of the bait, a couple of twists round, and then we'll nick that through the top of the bait. Pull that, and then that's our bait. So we've got squid and ragworm and a nice cocktail bait. Hopefully we'll pick up maybe a bass or a hound today. That would be absolutely fantastic. But let's crack on and get fishing. Right guys, so there's the bait. Nice bit of squid, nice big bit of squid, whole squid, ragworm on the other side, pennelled, wide mouth hook at the bottom, circle hook at the top. Can't wait to get out and fish. Right guys, the first bait going out is there. Ragworm and squid tied down on a pennel rig. Just going to get that out at distance. Sea is pretty rough today. We're going to have to cast it up tide a bit, I think. Pretty rough. Braid straight through on today. So if there's any weed, hopefully it'll be easy to pick off the line. Should be really using the finger stool. I've got one in my bag, I'll get one on later. I'm just gonna cast that up into the wind. And hopefully that'll hold. Yeah, very windy today. Just trying to feel the bottom of the weight gripping into the sand. There we go. And that's enough. I'm just going to let the drag back out and rest it back on the tripod. Right, so I've just got my finger stool, which is here. Shouldn't really be using braid straight through without a finger stool, really. It'll cut through your finger like a cheese knife. Oh, got it the wrong way around. I was going to cast my second rod out now. This one I'm just going to plop out into the water, a bit down tide. I'm going to go. I'm just going to plop it quite close because we're approaching the high tide really, so I don't really want to crack it out too far, but we'll see. Punch that through the wind, nice and low cast, and that's it. Right guys, so as you can see behind me, both rods are out. Let's try and have a good day and let's see if the fish want to play ball. Boom! Right guys, first cast on the 2-hook flapper. Bit of a lively school. Way easy boy. Bit very lively, man. Lively schooly bass. There we go. Happy days, mate. Happy days. Beating a blank. Woohoo! Whoa! Let's get him back in. Right guys, so far so good then. We've had one bass, 32 centimetres, so unfortunately it was too small, so it's gone back, and nothing on the big bait at the moment. We're still fishing the rise of the tide, and then we're going to fish it a couple of hours out. These lugworm absolutely doing the business at the moment. Fresh lug from the angler's den in Eastbourne. It is getting pretty rough. I think we might get a dusting of rain a bit later on as well, but you know, hey, we're out fishing. What more could you want, eh? Right guys, second cast, we're banging into another little fish. This time we've got a nice little silver eel. He's made a right hash of my rig. But yeah, weird little things. Silver eel, not one of my favourite fish to catch. I have to admit it, because they are slimy and you get all the slime all over your hands. Like little corn snakes they are. Oh, corn snake of the sea. Very, very strange creature. Right, we're going to get him back in. Don't want to mess around with him for too long. Get him back in. But yeah, another fish. Happy days. Happy days. Right guys, so there it is. Second fish. Silver eel. I'm not really too keen on these, to be honest with you. Let's get him back in. Slimy as... Whoa! Put him back in on the tide. And away he goes. Wash my hands. Oh, slime, covered in slime. Absolute, look at that. Oh, absolutely bloody horrible. Freaking horrible, man. My towel's going to be covered in slime now. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that, man. Yuck. It's like PVA glue. Look at that. Absolutely horrendous. I think I've been having a couple of long pulls on the Fury here, which has got our big bait on. Let's have a look, see. Oh, See if we can find anything. I don't know. Feels nice. Then again, there's quite a lot of weed that are coming up on the line, as you can see now. Doesn't feel like anything's fighting on the other end, but as it comes closer, I might decide just change directions if there's anything on it and dart back out again. No, nothing on that one. Right guys, so my big bait rod's just lied to me. I thought we had a nice bite, the line went out a little bit, and guess what? It is a nice selection of weed. Happy days. But you know, it's expected with the sea like it is, but we're just going to fish for it and hopefully we'll be able to put out some more fish. Feels like a fish. Feels like a fish rattling on the top. That's why I bring it slowly. Yeah, let's pull it. Let's pull it. Another little bass. Right guys, we've had it again. We've done it again. A nice bass. Nice little schooly bass there. Not coming in of any particular size. 34 centimeters. Let's give him a kiss for good luck, get him back in and hopefully catch a bigger fish. Mwah. Absolutely lovely. So obviously this bass is all flared up, so just taking him out, he's not very happy, so we're going to get him in pretty quick. So measuring him up, obviously the zero's there, and it's coming in at 30, 34. The legal landing size that you can take a bass at, or the retention size, from the based on the national Sussex certificate limits, is 42 centimeters, which is here. So yeah, he's going back. Right guys, I think we're into another fish. We might be. Man, proper rough down into it. Feels heavy. Nice to have a nice sizable fish for the table today. Oh, I don't know. It's coming in. It's coming in. It's coming in. Let it play around in the waves. Now we're going to bring it up. Oh no, it's not a fish. Right guys, just reeled in my 2 hook, 1 up, 1 down rig, should I say again. We've got this little pout. Nothing of significant size. Let's get back in the sea and we'll carry on the fishing. Right, so I've been having quite a lot of large lunges on this rod that's taken out line. But I think it's must be quite a lot of weed on there. Every so often it's been just taking out the line. It does feel a bit weighty. It does feel a bit weighty. Is it a fish? No, it's just a load of weed. Right, so what I'm going to do now is going to try something a little bit different. So I know there's bass about, obviously with the one that we caught earlier, and the sea being as rough as it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to target the bass, but I'm going to use the pennel to do that. So I'm going to put a couple of worms up the line, mixture of ragworm and lugworm. Ooh. Just going to feed them on like that. So there'll be 2 lugworm, 1 ragworm, and I'm just going to pennel the top hook into the top of the bait, leave the dangle at the bottom so we get some attractant. Nice big lugworm and rag bait. Then we're going to try that and see if we can entice the bass with that over the fish bait that I've been using, which has come back untouched on 2 casts. So let's give it a go. Looks good on paper, but we'll see how we get on. It might be a bit too long actually, but yeah, we'll see. Another fish here, or it's going to be a big bit of weed. Yeah, another reel, tangled up to buggery. Right then guys, just reeled into this little rascal, another reel. Session's going not too bad today. We've had quite a good stamp of fish. So yeah, there's another little eel there. On the downside to having this eel, I do now have a rig that is completely mangled. But you know, best to get the eel back into the sea. Obviously, this is a protected species. We don't want to cause too much harm to them, and if necessary, cutting a rig to save a fish is it's a given. Right guys, the heavens have opened, so I'll put you right back in the back of the tent. I've just reeled in my 1 up 1 down rig. I mean, the rig's a given, it works. It definitely works finding the fish. Pout there, 30cm pout. Now it's not the bass that we're looking for, but we're still catching fish, which is great. Let's get back in and carry on the fishing. Right guys, we're fishing the rest of the tide going out now, so not having much luck. Nice load of seaweed just on the last reel in. But you know, let's carry on trying and see if we can get a couple more fish today. Just looking for that one big table fish. That would be a given. Right guys, so we're nearing towards the end of the session. The water is pretty far away from where we're situated on the beach. We're just going to give it a couple more casts and see if we can pick up anything. It's been a pretty good session today, to be fair. I wasn't going to come to start off with when I saw the original weather for today, but it looked like the metalfish was showing there was a clean patch, so we had to go for it. We've had a couple of bass, we've had an eel, a couple of pouts. So yeah, it's not been too bad. It's not been too bad at all. What I'm doing now is I've just got both rods on the scratching rigs, just size 2 hooks, lug worm on. I'm just gonna, use the rest of the bait and then see if we can try and get a last minute fish. Right guys, I've just reeled into my rig, and I've got a little whiting on there. Can't believe it, little whiting. The little buggers are everywhere. Oh, it's doing a flip. Yeah, so we're gonna get him back in the sea. I'm gonna drop down to 1 rod now. So just going 1 rod on a big squid bait, just for the last 20 minutes, half an hour, and just see if we can try and pull out a fish. But yeah, nice little whiting near the end of the session. Mental. Right guys, at the moment I'm just making one last really big bait. I've got the dangles of the squid there. I'm just going to wrap that up and cast it out, and I think that's going to be a day then. I've tried to fish the last bit of the flowing tide. Nice big bait there, look at that. Nice big bait. So you get my hook in. Where we'd originally set up to where the water is, it's a bit of a long walk down there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this last bait up, and then we'll think about packing up. It's been an alright session today so far. I am still looking for that one big table fish to take home with us, but that bait elastic's gone. Try and use the rest of it. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm still looking for that one big table fish, to be fair. Would like a nice big bass today, but can't be winners every day. Okay. Right, that's that bait elastic gone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this cast out, and then we'll sit on it and hopefully see if we can pull one last fish out on this bait. Right guys, so it's last cast of the day. One big squid out mixed with a little bit of ragworm. Hopefully we'll be able to get that table fish I've been looking for. Nice bass would be absolutely lovely. I can feel it in my mouth at the moment. Oh. We'll see what happens. Right guys, so that's the end of this week's episode. It's been a pretty good one actually. We've had multiple species. It's been a mixed bag session, and have a couple of bass is quite nice as well. The eels were a bit not too keen on the eels, trashed my rig, but you know, if we can save a fish at the end of the day, if we can get it back into the sea and it, you know, swims off, you know, it's a given. One destroyed rig to save a fish, you know, you can't you know, I'd advise everyone to do it, really, to be fair. If you can preserve life, so be it. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe as well if you're new here, for more fishing adventures. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.